kia hui mai tahi tātou. Just really want to mihi to you, bro, for making the time, making the space to jump in here, have a bit of a wānanga with us. This is a really new space, like here in Aotearoa and around the world. And I just, yeah, props to you. I know you've been doing a big deep dive. Kia ora tātou e te whānau, mihi kia koutou kua hono mai. Big shout out to everyone who's made the time tonight to come and have a listen to our yarns. Looks like we're up on 49 people
good,
straight
bro.
away. That's not too bad. So hopefully we don't get people bringing their you fellas all
Try our
leave.
best.
But yeah, just want to really make
thank you, bro. Thank you so much for inviting me to come and have a chat with you. And thanks for, you're doing it well, bro. Like just the way that you're, setting it up. Having these live, I got 100 followers. I got nearly 100 followers just from you tagging me yesterday. So, bro, who's the man?
Man, you gotta pick up your praise.
Yeah, bro, you got the following, bro, and it's thank you for that. Thanks for everyone that followed me after seeing that post yesterday, and thanks for everyone so far for joining in. Yeah, looking forward to it, bro. Let's go.
Sweet. And before we start, we have to do the obligatory hashtag, this is not financial advice. So I think this is something that if you're getting into the crypto space or if you're getting into the blockchain space, NFTs, any of these things, this is not financial advice. This is an educational kōrero. It's a yarn between bros, answering some questions, talking about our own journey. So it's like, this is what we've learned. This is what Richie's learned, through the last 6 months plus.
About
you've been
6
deep
months.
diving into this. And when I'm talking about deep diving,
deep, bro, deep. All day, every day, pretty much. Just all I think about now is NFTs. It was the start of that first lockdown, the last lockdown. I mean, around about must have been the first week of August is when I started really going. Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. And then you just pull that thread, and then So yeah, it hasn't stopped since. It's been crazy. But I love it.
Yeah, bro. Hey, so at the whānau, if you haven't met Richie yet, he's first of all, he's a dope photographer himself, and has been playing in this NFT game. So I consider him an OG, a tuakana of mine anyway. He's the one that got me interested in the first place. Him and Te Haunui Tuna, Graf Grems, shout out to the bro. But also Richie is the one who got me to mint my first NFTs over on OpenSea. So yeah, really want to mihi to tuakana, and I've got a couple of his art pieces in my collection.
Good on you, and thank you for purchasing those. And it's been a pleasure, bro. Like, because I've had a lot of talks with people about getting into the NFT space. I've given up my time, like that first meeting we had on Zoom, and people, they're like, yeah, let's go, and then nothing. And I've got to take my hat off to you, bro. You got set up. You did your own research. You went and looked at a whole lot more than I taught you, and then you got started. You minted your first lot of your kind of teaser collection, because I know you've got so much more dope photography, but you put a couple of things up there, and got into the Twitter side, which is very important. And bro, good on you for going hard too, bro. Good, it's good stuff.
Sure, bro. So I guess we should start at the start. And NFTs are a thing that belong on the blockchain and soon to be in the metaverse. Can we start so whānau, say if any of the whānau are brand new to this, haven't heard about it before, what is the metaverse? What is blockchain?
See, I'm one of those people that just jump. I don't really go too deep with stuff. To be honest, I was just like a photographer who was like, oh, I can make money from this. Jump right in, and I just jumped. I'm one of these people that kind of jump right in and then work their way backwards a bit. So I didn't really know too much about the metaverse and blockchains, and I don't think I'm anywhere near even close to an expert. But blockchains are a new kind of, like the internet when it first got discovered, is a whole bunch of different computers. So if one turned off, the internet's still alive because all these other computers are still connected to it. And the blockchain is like a bunch of different internets. So we can set up our own internet, our own blockchain. And so it's kind of like a whole nother network. And there's nodes on this blockchain that verify each other, and it goes pretty deep. And it's, you know, I wouldn't listen to me because I wouldn't know much about it really. I would just go Google or YouTube search blockchain. What is it? And yeah, I've watched a few of those kind of cartoon basic videos where they explain it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of like, you know, I don't really understand the internet and I still use it. I don't really understand blockchain, but I still use it. But yeah, go deep if you want. I kind of got the foundation of it. And the metaverse is, to me, it's kind of like, it's almost like the internet times 10. Like, and it's so for social media, the social media version of the metaverse is going to be, instead of having a 2D page where you have your profile pic at the top, your banner, and then you have a feed of stuff that you post, and then you go to a public feed of everyone, all your friends, and you look at all their posts. Same with Instagram, same with Twitter. Instead of that, it's going to be more like situated. So instead of having a Facebook page or an Instagram page, I'll have a room. And in that room, I will have like, you know, an avatar of myself. And if you want to talk to me, you can jump in your avatar and jump in that room. And instead of us being, this is a really good example, is instead of us having this conversation now on a 2D screen with your profile and my profile, and then we're talking, it'll be set in a room, we'll be sitting on different chairs, and we'll have on goggles, and we'll be able to look around the room, and we'll be able to like use our hands to express ourselves. And instead of people looking at us, our faces like this, they'll be sitting on seats around us, looking at us two kind of face to face, having this conversation. Like, you know, like Oprah and a guest will be like talking to each other. It'll be more, it's more, but you know, some people are scared of the metaverse, but really it's just an advanced form of what's already going on. It's the same with the gaming side. You can buy avatars on Fortnite. You know, you can play the game and earn points and then buy the outfit that you want, or you can just pay for it. And that's kind of like similar to stuff that's going on in the metaverse. A movie that kind of goes there is Ready Player One, and that's like quite an interesting.
Yeah, and then like dystopian view of the world. But if you want to just like, okay, what could the metaverse be? There's one. You put it on, go into this world. You can go to different planets, and like you said, our room, you could be coming a guest in my room, and on my wall, I've got Poihakina's art piece here, and I could have an NFT of Poihakina's art piece in the room. I could have yours on the other wall. Also, like just to tag on to what you were saying about like Fortnite or Call of Duty and stuff, how you can buy the different skins. I've heard Gary Vee saying, you know, those are NFTs. Basically, you're buying things that you can use to get props or to show your uniqueness or whatever inside the metaverse.
Except that on Fortnite, once you've bought it, it just stays in your wallet. But in the metaverse, I could, if I get bored of it and I don't want to use it anymore, I could sell it to the next person. So you could profit from it as well, which is, so, but very, very much that explanation is a good one. Gary Vee is a great person to research NFTs about, because I think he's the one who got me into it, to be honest. I think I'd seen him talk about it. I'm a big Gary Vee fan, just like his vibe as well. And so I'd go look at his videos about it. And some people are scared of the metaverse, and it's real funny because I saw this meme, and it was this lady with goggles on, and she was lying down in her lounge, and her house was real messy, and it was like something like, the caption was, "Week 1 in the metaverse, I love it," of haven't been to the toilet in 3 days, forgot to feed the kids. And it's like, no, that's kind of like, even with cell phones now and people on social media, you see people on their cars, like on their phones on social media. You see them, people at the park with their kids, and all the parents are on social media. That's already here. You already have to be like, you already have to get off the internet yourself. It's already here. That thing that they think they're scared of is already here. So it's about discipline and just, you know, getting off your phone or getting off your headset. So it's a bit funny.
Yeah, it's an important thing for us to think about, for any of us that are looking into this space, is to remember the real world stuff. You know, go for a dive, go for a hunt, have a ko with your whānau. Like, don't think, because it is going to get, you know, so easy for us to go into this other world. You know, it is going to be easy for a lot of people to, you know, if I can live in a different planet and I look like an ape or something like that over in that planet, you know, why would I be here? But I think that's a really important thing that we have to remember, is that there's the metaverse stuff, just like there's social media, but we need to make time and make a priority for face-to-face.
Totally, bro, totally. And it's you know, like I just said, it's already here. So you've got to be disciplined in getting off social media and the metaverse when it arrives as well.
Yeah. Mean, bro. So that kind of gives us a bit of a context of where we're at. So NFTs are things that live on the blockchain and will live in the metaverse. You know, once we get our metaverses going on, then we'll be able to have our NFTs and flex your NFTs, show your NFTs, use your NFTs. Now we can get into what is an NFT, because it's a non-fungible token, but what does that actually mean and what does it look like? We can go into the different types, but if we just start broad, bro, what do you...
So for me, I like to keep stuff simple. So when I first got into it, I thought that I'm a photographer. I thought I was selling the JPEG to the digital, like, JPEG to a person, and then they had the rights. They could sell it. They could do whatever that. Like, I thought it was a full copyright kind of thing. And I remember just before I got into this space, I'd had a conversation with you about how I should price a photo that someone wanted to have full copyright to. So when I got into NFTs, I'd had that thought. And so I thought it was kind of that. But then I found out that no, it's just what happens is, when you know how you create a piece of art and you sign it, and then you sell it. So the Mona Lisa has a signature. When I upload a photo and mint it on the blockchain as an NFT, that's like a digital signature for that one photo. And then in the digital world, in the metaverse, that's the signed original copy, or that's the signed copy. That's the one. So it's like a whole new world, and that's the one that's applicable in that world. But I keep it I can sell it in the real world. I can print it. I can make calendars. I can have exhibitions. I can print it on T-shirts or whatever. But in the metaverse, I've sold the rights to that photo to someone else, and it's signed. So,
and there's quite a distinction. You know, like working as photographers, you know, we can license images and stuff like that. Selling copyright is like, it's a pretty big thing. But if you've got that certificate of authenticity, like people have said, oh, what happens if you just screenshot it? I can screenshot an ape, or I can screenshot a bits or a CryptoPunk or something like that. But it's just like, you could take a photo of the Mona Lisa, but you still wouldn't have the Mona Lisa, and everyone would know that's the real Mona Lisa. Correct. And you've just got a photo of it. So that's part of the proof that's in
exactly.
the blockchain.
And if you know, I don't know about yourself, but from my own experience and a few photographers that I know, we've had our photos stolen, and people have posted them, and it's like, why are you posting my photos without crediting me? This is a way for us to actually verify our art online. So then, you know, people can be, you know, we can, you know, it's on the blockchain as like, oh, here it is. Here's where it was uploaded first on my account and I've got the digital signature. So I actually think NFTs is a way of like securing our art in some ways. So yeah,
we've got a question. Can you do that with videos? Yes, you can, like shorter form stuff, eh? You can do the videos. And even if you guys go and have a listen to Gary V, he's even talking about you can NFT physical things. So say I've got this hue behind me. I could make an NFT of the hue, And then say if I sold the NFT of the hui, I could give the hui as a physical thing, and that NFT goes as a certificate of authenticity. This is who made it, this is who minted it. Yeah, so there's like physical things. People are talking about albums being NFT'd. So that means kind of fractionalizing, selling off kind of like shares in an album as an NFT. Can you talk about the utility side of it? Like, so there's the art, but the utility, what we're starting to get into?
With Ethereum, you can, it's a cryptocurrency, but there's another layer where you can attach a smart contract to it. So then you can have in that smart contract A plus B equals C. So once this amount of money is raised, you get, and then this happens, then this will make this happen. But that means, and also you can kind of track that currency better. So the utility side of NFTs is something extra. Really, it's just something extra that comes with the digital, because like you said, you can mint video, you can mint MP3s, so music, you can MP4s, any digital file, GIFs. I think the longest form video I've done is, I think I put a 2-minute video up. It never sold and I took it down, but I know you can do 2-minute videos or even more on OpenSea. It's more about and then, so the utility, the most basic one I can think of is on OpenSea, you upload the digital JPEG, you sell it, but then there's unlockable content to like a high res version, or the utility might be a print.
Yeah.
And so whoever buys the NFT, the first person who buys it, once they buy it, the utility is you get a print. That's the easiest way. That's the easiest way to describe utility for photographers in the most basic sense. Or once you buy the NFT, you might get a one-on-one class with the photographer on how to take photos. Yeah. So you might sell one photo and the utility is a print, and you might say, well, that's going to be $500, however much Ethereum that is. You might sell a photo that's very, very similar from the same day, different tree, same lighting, same amount of effort. But with that photo, the utility is a one-on-one class on how to take photos with you. And you might say, well, that's $5,000. Yeah. So the utility can be used to help you price as well, depending on what else you want to give to it. But passing on that utility, so when you buy someone's NFT, you can on-sell it and you can make the money. So like you just bought one of my NFTs, right? And you listed it for 50 Ethereum. And when you sell that, you get 49 Ethereum. No, you get 45 Ethereum and I get 5 Ethereum. I get 10%. That's like, so it's an investment as well. Like if you think, oh, Richie's going to blow up one day, and he's got his pieces, I'm going to buy them for this much, and then I could make lots of money from him. But the utility from, say I had a utility where I gave you a print, whoever you sell it to doesn't get that utility. It's just for the first time. You can attach a utility that does pass on, but a print's something that you wouldn't, because what if it sells 50 times and you only got your initial amount of money for it, and then you're having to get all these prints done, and then you're losing money eventually because you're having to do all these prints. So, yeah, but you could pass on other things like the high-res version is very easy because it's unlockable content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I added, so like you were talking about, I minted my first collection, and those were tile shots. You can go and check them out on OpenSea. And my Genesis piece, my #1 piece, I snuck in a bit of utility in that, and that was that you can get a free photo shoot with me every year. Only in Aotearoa. So I put that in there. My bro Kaoti, he was my my first. So he scored my first NFT, my Genesis, and so he gets a free photo shoot every year. Yeah, yeah. At a time of my choosing, but yeah. Yeah, so like this is something that you can put in there. I know another mate of mine, Chelsea, she showed me these other ones, Bits. And if you own one of those, then you get access into a Discord that has lots of alpha, and they'll, you know, like they'll tell you about the next drops. Other ones, Gary was talking, if you own this particular NFT, then you get all access to all of his events. Haere ake. And then so if I sold that NFT to you, now you get the access. I won't get the access anymore. You'd get the access to all of his events. Haere ake nei. So technically, if Kawati sold that that Genesis piece to someone else, they would get the free photo shoot every year.
Is it up for? Is it listed it?
Oh,
has he relisted it? Has he put it on the secondary market? Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, fair enough. It'd be worth it getting those photos, I reckon. You know, that's got to be a good. Yeah. That's got to be a bargain, right? Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Hold it. Wicked. So there's different types of NFTs. Like you and me, we're photographers. And if you didn't know, you have to go and check out Richie's work. Especially my favourites are the maramataka. Like beautiful images of our marama through our different phases, along with a little bit of kōrero about those different phases. But like Astro, bro, Astro
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I love it, eh? I love it.
It's really, really cool. And so the bro's got Astro. I'm a photographer, as you guys know, and so we're looking at the NFT world as a space to be able to, you know, promote, share, sell, you know, make income, bread and butter, off our photography in the NFT world. There's also like profile pic stuff, which is really popping off right now, and there's a lot of flipping and that going on. Do you want to have a little yarn about that, bro? What is this profile pic movement?
So basically there's you can buy in on these collections that have like they'll have like one collection of, say, it's usually 10,000 profile pics that all look the same but slightly different, with different kind of rarity traits. So CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club are the most famous ones, and you could buy them for a couple of $100, and now you can sell them for almost $250,000. So it's like everyone's got this gold rush fever about profile pics, because you don't know what the next Bored Ape Yacht Club or the next CryptoPunk could be, but you can try your best, and it's quite a fun way to invest, because you're not just it's not unlike the finance or the crypto world. You're not trying to learn. You're basing it off art, and that's kind of something a lot of people feel like they could relate to. That they go, oh, I like this art. I like this project. So and it's become huge in the last year because of the CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club just becoming such massive money makers. So the whole NFT world, Timberland, Eminem, everyone. So the whole NFT world, but particularly the PFP, the profile pic world, is it's the Wild West and the gold rush fever at the same time. So every day there's about 20 different profile pic collections that drop, and people are like thinking this one's going to be the next one, this one's going to be next one, and all the creators are they're really pushing the boundaries with what the utility can be for these profile pics. So there were these ugly ass ones where they were 8-bit, like King Kong looking things, but if you bought them, I won't go too far into it, but every day they generated $50 of Ethereum. So every day, so people were buying like 10 of them, so they were getting 500. No, they were at one stage, one CyberKong was generating $500 worth of Ethereum a day. And so, so that's a lot of money. So I don't know how they did it. They turned it. It was it was part of it generated 10 banana tokens, and these banana tokens you could sell for 50 Ethereum each. So that's why it was 500 Ethereum.
Oh, yeah.
And the banana tokens people were buying so they could buy a baby Kong, and the baby Kongs, once you bought them, were worth 4 Ethereum. So there was a big need for the bananas that the Kongs produced, the Cyber Kong. And then this crazy utility, this tokenomics, and, it was next level stuff. So, the PFP game it's not just about how dope the art is. And, that's, you can see that with a lot of projects, but CryptoPunks is 8-bit punks, and they're the most famous. And that's more like a nostalgia in the fact that the art is nostalgic. And also it's from 2017, which is considered old school. And then Bored Ape Yacht Club, the art's a bit better, and it was just such a good community. Plus, with Bored Ape Yacht Club, you own your ape. So if I own that ape, I could make a derivative project of it. I could sell prints of it. I could do anything. So that was new back then. That was like April, May last year. That was a new thing to do. So now it's oversaturated, and everyone like wants to be the next Bored Ape Yacht Club, and there's just so many projects.
And if you have a look, there's heaps and heaps of copycats. So as soon as the apes went nuts, there was Bored Lion,
Angry
Sleepy
Boar,
Lizard, they're making a lot to try and capitalize on that gold rush. It's like, whoa, I can see heaps of people are making money off this. I wanna do something similar. And some of those would have taken off. Some of those have taken off, and also some haven't. So I think that's I just want to link back to the metaverse. So I know that a lot of these profile pic things, where they're going to go is that soon you're going to be able to, and soon, I mean soon, probably next year, or even end of this year, you'll be able to use those as your avatar. So, if you're playing Fortnite or whatever, you got your avatar, you got your character who's in the metaverse. Soon, when we go into the metaverse, if I own a Bored Ape, potentially I can go into the metaverse as a Bored Ape. Or if I own a Graphgram, I could go into the metaverse as a Graphgram, once the technology picks up. But I really think that's where it's going to go. And then if you're buying Nike and Adidas are going in, and all of these big brands, they're going to start selling NFT kicks. You can buy your NFT original Jordans for however much, and then only your character can wear those. So it's like you fixing them in your metaverse room, but also your character can wear them, and only you can wear them if you've got the NFT. And I remember you saying even things like Twitter and was it Twitter and something else, how we can just, at the moment, we can just copy and paste the image and use it as our profile pic. Think where they're going is soon that you'll only be able to use it for your profile pic.
You'll have to connect. Twitter's doing a thing soon where you connect your wallet, and you have to upload your profile pic through your wallet. So that, which is good, because there's a lot of people who right click save a Bored Ape Yacht Club, put it as their profile pic, start a new page, claim to be an NFT influencer, get thousands of followers, but really they're just some random who's never even played the NFT game and just pretending to be something they're not. So that's so it's good. It's like a verification thing. I know Twitter's definitely looking into that. It should be soon for that. A project to really look at as far as they're doing everything in their ecosystem is Pixel Vault, and I've done a video about Pixel Vault, so you should go check it out. Link is in my bio. It's they're selling their own characters for their own game and their own cartoon, and they've got this whole ecosystem going, and they're the ones who did the deal with Adidas, and so they've got a huge amount of money, and they've got a lot of crazy utility Like they got coins. We got airdropped these coins last week, and these coins, because I got a planet, and then that gets me stuff later on. But in the meantime, they airdropped us these coins, and these coins are worth 500 US at the moment. They fluctuate, but if you hold on to them, you could win a raffle.
Yeah.
If you hold on them for after the raffle, there's a later utility, or you could sell them right now for 500, 600 US dollars, which is pretty crazy. It's like an extra special thing that came out of nowhere, and it's like, yeah. So there's that project. I think if you want to really look at a complex project, the Pixel Vault ecosystem is the most advanced. Kind of like, it's so hard to explain to people, but it's I'd look it up. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you have to deep dive. So those of us at the whānau, if you're wanting to deep dive, that's a place to have a look. I've got a pata here, Isaiah. Can you invest in someone that specializes in NFT and then be portioned the profit? I think potentially, yeah. You know, like you can get people who are good at flipping, and maybe you're investing your capital with them. But if you do that, it's like anyone with crypto and with any investing, it's like, man, if it's your mate that's in there, I'll say if it was me, I wouldn't want to be taking my bro's hard-earned money, because if I make a mistake or if I buy something, you know, that doesn't pop, then I'll be losing his. But definitely, it's possible. And I think that brings us back to one of our principles that we didn't say at the start. You know, one, this is not financial advice, but two, the advice is, this piece is advice. Only invest what you can afford to lose. So don't go into any debt to buy a NFT. Don't borrow any money to buy an NFT, because what if it tanks tomorrow and then you don't have the money to pay back whatever your debt is? It's kind of like using money that, you know, say if you bought an NFT and it tanked, you can still eat tomorrow. You can still pay the rent.
Yep.
You know, you can still do all of that stuff. So that's a real big principle way, I think, in this whole blockchain.
Yeah, and the thing about NFTs is they're really illiquid. So with coins, you can just cash out once, you know, because you've got the coins. But with the NFT, you have to sell it. So it doesn't matter what NFT you've got. If you could put it on the market and be like, okay, I need this money now, and you could put it on the market, but then, you know, you have to hope that someone likes the one you've got, can afford it, and people will, and that's why the floor usually drops on these projects. And the floor means the cheapest one in the bunch, the cheapest one in the project at the time. And yeah, it can be tough, because if you need money fast, usually that means you want to sell below the floor. So if the cheapest one is $500 and you need money, and you've got an NFT from that collection, you'll put it for 490, hoping that someone's going in and just buying stuff real cheap. And then, and another thing is that in the NFT game, it's like they never talk about patience, and you've got to be in the PFP project game. Is if a project drops today, tomorrow it could drop in price really badly, like by one, you know, down. So if you pay 500 today, tomorrow it could go down to $100, and people will be like, "Oh no, it's going to go to zero. I'm gonna sell." And then the next day it goes up to 300, and then people are like, "Damn, I just lost like $200." Then the next day after that it goes to 1,000, and they're like, "Damn." And then, or someone else could be like, one day they buy for 500, the next day it goes to 1,000, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to the moon. I'm going to hold on to it." And then the next day after that, it goes to 10,000, and they're like, "Yo, it's going to be 1 million within 3 weeks. Let's go." And then it drops, and then it drops down to zero, or it drops down to 1,000, and they think, "Oh, I just lost $9,000 because if I cashed out 2 days ago, I would have been." And it's really kind of, it can be really volatile, and it can be really unpredictable. And you have to understand the human nature part of what happens when a project drops. And then, so there's 10,000 on these PFP projects, and they come out on a rarity scale, and there'll be like the bottom 2,000 So there'll be 8, they go in rarity. So people will be like, oh, I got rarity number 9,999. It's the most boring one out of this whole project. I just want to get rid of it. I paid $500, but I don't care. I'll just sell it for 200 so I make something back, right? So then they'll go with that. The next person's like, well, I didn't get a real one either. I'm gonna sell mine too. They'll look and go, oh, the bottom price is 200, 190. Another person will go, yeah, I got a shit one too. I'm gonna go down to 180. So the floor just goes down, 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 down. But then if the project all of a sudden picks up and someone comes in and start, like Gary Vee goes, yo, this is the next project, then people just start going in and they just sweep the floor and they just buy them all. And the next day they're up to 1 Ethereum. And one day it could go up to 1 Ethereum, and everyone that sold out because they had a stink one was like, oh. And if you do your research, you'll see a lot of creators, a lot of people, a lot of successful NFT collectors have stories about the time when they sold their Bored Ape Yacht Club for 1 Ethereum. And it's like and that's $4,000 US. That's a lot of money. That sounds like a good profit. And at the time they made a profit, but they just missed like $200,000, So it's a crazy game to get into. You got to do a lot of research, like a lot of research about, like I've been reading investing books about investing and human nature and so the NFT is one thing, but investing in general is like just never stop your research.
Yeah. And I think that's another important one and that's one of the things that you'll hear any YouTubers talking about crypto or talking about NFTs is do your own research. So, listen to what Richie says, maybe listen to what I say, but then go and research it for yourself. So, like with all these people, I've been, talking to Richie, learning, from him, but I've also been going, now I need to go and check it for myself because, I've got four of my mates on this kaupapa, but is it a sure enough bet for me to invest my money in it? Like they might be in a different position. They might have heaps of paper that they can just go, oh yeah, I just want to try this and try that. And maybe I'm not in that position. So, you got to do your own research. Got a question here from the Bored Ape. How do you tell a legit NFT source from a kakao?
I've got a few things that I do, and I've got a few tips, and they are so. Something I did early in the game was I got on Twitter because that's where all the big name collectors are. That's where all the crypto punks, all the Bored Ape ones, they are. And they've got in their Discords, they've all got alpha groups about what the next project is. And when people see them aping in and joining communities, they're like, oh, the apes are buying the cool cats. Let's all go to the cool cats. So I went on Twitter, and this is the best place to do it, is to go on Twitter and follow all the influencers. So all the Bored Ape Yacht Club, all the crypto punks, and figure out after a couple of weeks, you'll be like, oh, this person is an influencer. This person's an influencer. And then so from there, whenever you hear about a new project, the first thing I do is go to their Twitter and see how many of those influencers know about that project. Because if some of them know, that means it could go big. Another thing I do is, and then I look at the page, like, are they interactive? How many followers do they have? Are they replying to comments? Do they follow anyone? And then you go to their Discord and you go to the channel where it says the team, and you go to the team and you see who's in the team, or you go to the website and you see who's in the team. And if you can find that team's, like if the team's doxed, that's a good thing. And doxed just means you know who they are. So if you can go to the website or the Discord or the Twitter and find the team and see a real face, not an anonymous account of the team, that's a good sign, because if people are in the team are willing to put their real face and their real profile out there, then that means they're in it for the long haul. If it's a bunch of anonymous, that means, or people who have only just created accounts, then that's a red flag a little bit, because you can't hold them accountable. So I always make sure that you can dox them. So first name, last name, and links to their accounts, either on their website, their Twitter, or their Discord, is a huge one for me. Then I look at the artwork. If the artwork's dope, then after I've done all of that, then I look at the utility. Like, because the utility, it doesn't matter, because most people are just in it to really flip and make money. Like, so what if they give away a Tesla, or if they give away, like I've been in a couple of projects where at 50% sold out, they gave away a Tesla. Out of 10,000 people, the chances of winning are going to be low. And chances are they could just give it to one of their team members or themselves, because it's all anonymous. They can go, Bored Ape Yacht, Bored Ape number 55555 got it, and that could just be me, and you would never know, and you know what I mean? So, and then they'll give like giveaways. It's like, yeah, cool. You usually don't get those. Well, I've never won anything, and so the utility is like giveaways and that, or merchandise, or meetups, or events, and then there's like tokenomics. So sometimes like the crypto, the cyberkongs was interesting, and Wolf Game, because they were NFTs that earned you passive income. So it's like, oh, okay, but still that's an interesting thing, but you still got to have a team that's reliable. So if reliable people in the NFT world are part of it or talking about it, then maybe give it a thing. If none of them even know about it and all that, usually I would stay away from it. If it's got a lot of hype, I don't know, the hype thing's crazy, because, and you know, there's been a really hype project here in New Zealand lately, and usually that's like a good thing, and it usually means that the project will sell out. But the example I like to use is Metaverse. Metaverse were like these Gundam robot-looking things, and they look like they're just amazing artwork. And there were 8,888 of them. But they had a Discord with like hundreds of thousands of people. It was just crazy. They had a raffle, and then on the day they had this raffle, and people could mint, and a whole lot of people didn't get in and got real angry. And then when the project dropped, everyone just picked it to pieces. And it was supposed to be like a Bored Ape Yacht Club. You're supposed to make $250,000. Now, at the moment, the floor price is 1 Ethereum, which is still a 5x from your initial investment. It's not really good, but for what it was supposed to be, it's supposed to be one of those $250,000 ones. Like, it was the most hype NFT collection of 2021, and the Cool Cats did better. Even the Lazy Lions did better. Alien Friends did better. I think that's this year, but heaps of projects did better than it, right? Doodles did way better. Like Doodles, the floor price is like 10 Ethereum now, and they weren't even like hyped at all. They were like a random drop, like out of nowhere, and then the Metaverse team was only 2 people. They were doxed, but they were just 2 artists, so they couldn't handle the community or the technical side, because they were just 2 artists, and the community and they got like heaps of scams, and they got attacked by bots, and the bots got their raffle, and then it was just crazy. So there's a lot of technical stuff and things that can go wrong when things are overhyped, because the gold rush fever is just so crazy. Like, we've got to get in on this, and people start like, they stop seeing they stop seeing like just reality, and they lose it. And so overhyped stuff can be, unless it's a big team. If it's a big team, like 10 people or more, then I think they can handle it. But if it's only a few people and it's overhyped, that can be quite hard. But yeah, that's how I look at projects, and I won't buy from a project anymore until I've ticked off all of that stuff. So a docs team, a really good social media, so good Twitter, good Discord, who in the real NFT, because the thing about the influencers being in it is, if you're there to make money, you want the apes and the crypto punks to be in it, because they're the ones who pay stupid money for this stuff and or sweep the floor, buy 10 of them, and they're the ones, because once you sell your initial collection, if you're just selling to your friends and family or community or that, it's like they don't have $10,000 to just spend like it's nothing. But the CryptoPunks and all the NFT community, they're really rich. Like even the photographers, like, you know, all the big photographers have CryptoPunks now, have, you know, they've got like, because, you know, like Justin Avasano, Drifter Shoots, they're all like, they're selling like, you know, they've made millions and millions of dollars from their photography. So they're like, they've got stupid money to just like go, yeah, that, you know, but the average person, it's like, oh, $1,000, yeah, cool, I'll buy it off. But I'm gonna try and make $10 million. I'm gonna try and sell. I'll buy it for $1,000, but I'll try and sell it for 10. But who are you gonna sell it to for 10 if it's not like the crypto, the NFT world? Because like your cousins and these celebrities and people aren't gonna they're not gonna buy it unless it's really, 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 really hyped. And at that point, it would be the CryptoPunks and the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs that are the ones buying it. So having them so go on Twitter, and if all the CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Clubs are looking at that project, that's a really good sign. To me, that's like, well, okay, keep an eye on that one, because that's where the money, if it's about flipping, that's where the money's at. If you just like the art, sweet. Just buy it for the art. That's all good. Because that's the other thing, you might just like the art and you want that to be your avatar in the metaverse. That's cool. That's a good reason, because then even if it tanks, you're happy with the art, and that's you know, even though it didn't become a massive investment, you've still got this cool avatar for the metaverse.
Yeah, and so I've got a question here from our blockchain Māori bros. How are we on that type of level when, not if, a Māori NFT collection drops? None of those, like none of the apes and stuff may or may not be following us. Will the same flags apply? Like, how do we sort of bump that? This is one of the things that is important to me, is that we get enough of us Māori in this space to be able to work together, so that if you're dropping a project, I can support, and you know, all of my mates can support, and vice versa. But what do you reckon in terms of that thing for I think
if it's done right, for the right reasons, with the right people, it becomes about having the dope, like having the really cool avatar to flex in the metaverse. So you'll drop your project and I'll be like, oh, yo, I want one of them, because that's a Māori project. I like the art, and I want, when I go into the metaverse, I want to use that as my avatar. And as a creator of that collection, and say you just made 2,000 of them because you did your research and you figured out there's only 2,000 Māori that like NFTs and are willing to pay $1,000. You know, that's still a lot of money. That's, you know, I think that's still like $2 million, right? I think, So you know, so as a creator, you just have to think about how you price it and how many. There's still money to be made, and it might just be on those initial sales, not the secondary sales. So you wouldn't need the apes and the punks to buy on the secondary market to be because the creator makes their money anyway when they first sell their collection. People are buying PFPs to flip, like, so to make money themselves. But that's separate. So if I buy your an NFT for $1,000 and I sell it for $10,000, that's good for me. But the collector, they only get 10% of my 10,000, so they still get extra money, but I'm still making 10,000 as well. But if that's not the case, and you're not able to on-sell these for so much, you're, as a creator, with 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 piece PFP collection, you'll still make a lot of money. And if it's done for the right reasons, like I said, like if you've got people on board because they love the art and they love the kaupapa, they're not about flipping and they want to rock that stuff in the metaverse, then that's all good. And then that's all you should promise. You just be like, hey, this is for us. This is for us to look cool in the metaverse, and to Like you might even sell like an NFT that's just a moko, and you actually have to put that moko on your, like, so I would upload a photo as well. Then it's like a moko that's transparent that gets put on my photos, and the actual transparent moko is the NFT. It could be like that. It could be, but
Yeah.
I think as a creator, there's always room to make money, regardless of, and regardless of like the potential to on sell. And I think some people will be like, oh, I'm not going to buy it because I want to be part of something that I can flip, and I'm there for flipping. But there'll be a
Yeah.
lot of people that will be like, yeah, that's cool, that's for us, let's do it. I'd buy it, you'd buy it, you know, if it was the right project done by the right people.
Yeah.
All good.
Especially one, to support, you know, other Māori artists for sure, but two, because that's how I want to express
Yeah.
myself in the metaverse. You know, that's you know what I want as my avatar or whatever. We've got a couple more questions. One from the Bohams, Third Rock. Loving this Wānanga i te pone. Can you briefly share the NFT real explanation? So what's minting? What's flipping?
Do you want me to do that? Okay, so minting
Yeah, you go, Brett.
is when I go to OpenSea or Foundation, or and I upload my JPEG, it's like uploading a photo to Facebook or something. But minting it is attaching it to a code, which is like the digital signature, which turns it from a JPEG into an NFT. It's so it,
Yeah.
it
Amex from minting
yeah
back in the day.
yeah.
That's what they used
Making money.
to make money.
Really, it's just turning something into something, like giving it a store of value. And so it's and on OpenSea, you do a lazy mint where you upload the JPEG, and then when the collector comes along and buys it and spends the money, then it gets turned into an NFT and it gets minted. On Foundation, when I upload it as the creator, I have to pay the minting fee, and it's a bit more expensive. So, that's minting. And then flipping is buying for $500 and selling for $10,000. Just like going to a garage sale and buying a TV and for $50 and selling it for 500. It's the same thing. And the only difference is that as a creator, if you buy one of my photos and for $500, I get $500, and then you sell it for $10,000, you get $9,000, I get 10%, $1,000. So you're the one doing the flipping. You're buying my stuff, and that's cool. And it's even cooler that the original creator gets 10%. And then when that next person sells it again for 50 Ethereum or $500,000, then I get $50,000 and that person gets $450,000. Now, as a creator, that could be quite scary, because you might sell something for $500 and then the next bro, he makes $10,000 off it, and you're just like, damn, I should have sold it for $10,000. I should have had it at a high price from the start. But nah, that's the game, and that's cool. I like that part of it. The fact that I could make someone rich is pretty exciting, you know?
Mm. And the passive income that comes in for you as the creator as well. And I just want to, so there's two ways. There's the way that we as a creator would mint NFT, but there's also, I've seen the word minting, like I've minted some NFTs as some of the profile pic ones. Like I had my first experience with Te Haunui's graph greens. Basically minting meant, like, if you get on the whitelist, that's another thing. That'll be the jargon that everyone will be hearing, is whitelists. Basically, if you get in the whitelist, it's kind of like the VIP room. You get to go in before the doors open to the general public. So you can go in and you can buy some before the rest of the get them. And often you get them before they open up to everyone else. So that's whitelist minting. So for Te Haunui's grams, I got on the whitelist. I could go in and I could buy a few grams before everyone else in the general public. And when you're minting in that way, you can't tell which graph you're getting. So I bought a few, but I couldn't tell until I bought it, and it shows up my wallet, and then I'm like, oh, I got this one. So you may get one of the rarest ones, and you may not. You might just get normal Joe Blow NFT. So those two ways of eh? Another question from my cousin Austin: when purchasing an NFT, does it move like tokens, like with send or receive addresses, like tokens as in Shiba and stuff like that? How does that work? Also, how secure is it, the JPEG moving from their platform, say OpenSea, to your PC or to your phone? In my understanding, it actually stays on whatever platform it is, and then your wallet, so your Ethereum wallet, holds it on there. Eh? Can you explain that, bro? I think you've got a bit of a clearer understanding or a clearer way to...
Can you still hear me? I've just changed my setup a bit. Oh, good. Okay, so
when people...
Sorry to
when you buy an NFT,
okay.
Where does it sit? And is it safe?
It's like a send and receive address. So I'll send it from my wallet address. So you set up, you get like a MetaMask wallet. And for me, I use MetaMask. It's like a Chrome extension, but it's like a wallet, like a wallet where you hold all your money. And it's a digital one, so it stays on the computer. And all the different platforms where I go. So when I go to OpenSea and I open it up and it shows the NFTs that I've created, it'll show my Maker's Place NFTs, it'll show my Foundation NFTs, and it'll show my OpenSea NFTs. When I open up my MetaMask app on my phone, the same thing, it shows me all my NFTs. The JPEG itself is, you just right-click, save it, and put it on your, and that's the part people think is why it's a scam, is that, well, it's not the JPEG. The JPEG, it's the contract that came with the JPEG that makes it yours in the metaverse. But when you want to display it as your profile pic in January 2021, you have to right-click, save it from your MetaMask wallet or from your OpenSea account, and then use it, however you want to use it in the metaverse. But in a couple of months, and Facebook will do the same thing. You'll have to connect to your wallet. So you own the NFT, it's in your wallet. You'll go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to display that NFT as your banner or your profile pic, you'll have to connect your wallet and then select it from there. And then if someone steals, if the right-click savers come along and go, haha, I got your NFT now, I'm going to use it as my one, and then they try and upload it to Twitter, then you can go to Twitter and report it, and they'll instantly know that you're the owner because you've connected it through your wallet, and they've just right-click saved and uploaded it. So that's what I'm meaning, is that at the moment it's still in this grey area, but in a few months, when the metaverse is fully here, it'll be all verified, and the right-click savers will have to just like shush, because they'll come along and go, now it's mine, ha ha ha, because that's what they do. They just go, ha ha, now it's mine. It's like, yeah, cool story, bro, but one, you didn't make any money from it, and I just sold it and made money. And two, when the metaverse changes, you're going to get reported, and they'll be hard. Like, they will suspend your account, and you won't be able to like do that stuff anymore. So it's in a funny place at the moment. What was the other question?
Yeah. There's another.
There was one before that, wasn't there?
How do they move? Like, so if you bought it, say if one in OpenSea, how does it end up in my wallet? Well, my understanding is it stays in OpenSea on the blockchain, but your wallet has the to it, or like
No, it gets stored in your wallet. It gets stored in your wallet, and then when you connect your wallet to OpenSea, it shows you what you've got in your wallet through the OpenSea interface. But it's technically in your wallet, because my expensive NFTs that I think I don't want these stolen, I transfer them to my hardware wallet, so they can't get hacked at all. So my woodies and my Pixel Vault Meta Hero planets, I just chuck into my hardware wallet, so then no one can come along and hack it, you know. So yeah.
Just while we're here, can you tell the difference? Can you say the difference between a hot wallet
and a cold wallet? I don't know which one's hot or cold, but there's
hot's on, cold is unplugged.
Cold. Oh, okay. Like so a hot wallet is the one on where you do all your trading, or it's one that gets stored on the internet. So it's in like a Chrome extension, or using the MetaMask website, and it's there digitally on your account that you have with them. And if you got hacked, if someone knows your seed phrase or can tap into your account somehow, they can steal your Ethereum, your whatever. They can steal anything in that wallet. With a cold wallet, which is one of these, you any transaction that comes out of your, like, you just transfer all your Ethereum and all your NFTs to this, and then for it to get out of, it doesn't really go into this. This just becomes like the way you can't transfer anything out of, like, this wallet has its own address, and you send your NFTs and your Ethereum to that address, and that you can do that easy. But when you want to move something out of that address, you can't do it unless there's someone there to physically tap these buttons. There's 2 buttons. You can't move anything out of it unless you physically click these buttons. So someone would have to come to your house, steal this and your computer, and know your password to your MetaMask account.
Yeah, it's a whole lot safer. You can do hot wallets and stuff, and people, same with crypto. Crypto's on the same thing. You can either have a hot wallet, which would be your Coinbase or your MetaMask, or, you know, your Binance things. But then you can have like a Ledger or a Trezor, or, you know, there's a whole bunch of cold wallets, and that basically, the coin doesn't sit on the wallet; it sits on the blockchain. But the wallet is the only thing that can unlock and allow that to move.
I like your description better.
So that's basically, if you've got the cold wallet unplugged, not on the internet, then a hacker can't get into here without that key. So it's a good
totally
thing, bro. With the investment, they're like $100, $150 or something like that. But if you've got a woody, or if you've got a Bored Ape that's worth, you know, 500,000, then 100.
No, exactly.
I got a real good question here from W41_JML. Cheer, brother. How can we protect mātauranga Māori and Māori imagery from being commercially exploited by non-Māori or cultural appropriation via NFTs, considering there's no copyright and IP regulations?
I think that just comes down to how we do it now, which is community rallying together to shut them down. You pretty much and the thing about the NFT world is, once you get into it, people are really community minded, because you can't, a project, especially like these PFP projects, they can't do well without the community sticking together. And I saw a project, I won't name it because I get in trouble when I name projects. Well, I don't get in trouble, but it just becomes a bit personal. But there was a project and they had these Māori designs, and I was like, oh, hold up, what's this? And I went and I had a look, and the team wasn't Māori, but the 2 artists were. So it's like, ooh, this is tricky. How do you because you want the artists to do well, but then you just realize it's a cash grab and it's cultural appropriation. They just convinced these two artists that they could make a quick buck as well. So I didn't say anything and I just left it. And but I think like if you were to try and protect those things, you would have to just do it the same way you would anything else. Rally together, cancel them. Or, you know, I know as photographers, we've got the same ethics. You know, we have to, you know, I know that you know your like tikanga and your kaupapa, that you wouldn't take photos of anything sacred and sell them unless you had the right blessing and the right, like you went about it the right way, right? So I think when it comes to, because you're definitely gonna see New Zealand companies trying to, you know, because with the PFP thing, if you want to make it uniquely New Zealand, the only real way to do that is through like moko and, you know, or anything to do with, you know, otherwise it's not unique to New Zealand, you know, so you're going to see it. And there's been a couple of things that have popped up. So I don't know how you would protect that other than just the same way you would if they did it in a McDonald's ad. You'd just be like, nah, can't do that. And you just get the community together and just try and like shut it down. But I think in some ways, you know, they're kind of putting it on themselves, you know, they're cursing themselves in their own way there. So in some ways, justice will always be done. Like it's tapu, right? So
I think it is that's a really big question. I think, and that's in any creative space, you know, like people selling t-shirts, people selling, you know, with, you know, like that's a big thing for us to keep an eye on. And like you said, it's the community around it. I've got a real thing that I've been having a wānanga of. So, yep, I can easily sell my photos of rākau and manu and things like that. But I know, like, my main focus when I'm shooting, when I'm doing my mahi, is I'm capturing people. I'm capturing different kaupapa. I'm capturing different moments with people. And so I've been having a wānanga with myself kind of ethically. So how would I do it? Obviously, number one, permission of the people that's in it. So I'm not going to sell a photo unless I got the permission of the people or the permission of the people who carry the kaupapa. Say, like, I've got an exhibition that's going down. We had it up at Waitangi. We're going down to Te Papa, he kaupapa waka. I got permission, you know, before I went away and made an exhibition, made all these prints and stuff. I went and got permission from all the people who, all of the rangatira of the kaupapa waka. So I've got their blessing to be able to display those photos, to be able to sell prints and things like that. So if I, you know, say like Te Pūtake o Te Riri or the Rua Pika Pika commemorations, like some of those photos are powerful and they've got a really strong story, they've got a good narrative. Those are ones that potentially I could make into NFTs. But, you know, me personally, I'm going, okay, sweet. So ethics first, you know, tikanga first, ethics first. So first I would be going back to the marae, I'd be going back to the Apes, say, is it okay if I use these in this way before going and selling? Because, you know, like other people on the outside can come in and capitalize on us and our culture, but I'm accountable because I have to turn up at the marae with you next week and and you know, you never gave permission, or you never, you know, anything like that. I gotta be there and, you know, kanohi, get the kanohi with you next time. And I think the cool thing, like one thing that is cool that I've been thinking about is, you know, how if you sell an NFT, you can write into the contract that 10% comes back to the artist. Well, maybe if I have a photo of you and I sell that NFT, maybe 7% comes to me and 3% goes to you. And so then the people in those photos could get, if they've got a, you know, a blockchain account and stuff, then they could be getting passive income. So there's different ways to
and I
think
think
about it,
definitely you could when it's the portraits, you can tell those people that you will give them a 3% or whatever. But also, if it's like, say you go to, say it's a cause, like say you've gone somewhere, you're taking photos for a rally or for protecting like a certain piece of land or something that there's a cause. You could be like, here's a collection that I made for this, and 50% of the profits go to them. And you just cash out, you get it to them, or you get them to get an account, and you can just split it and they trust you. Like, everyone knows you, you're doxed. This is what I mean. Like, everyone's going to trust you and they know you. You've already conducted yourself in a way that is respectable with everything you do. Everyone knows that you know what this is all about, and that you know your tikanga, and you know the kaupapa of where you are and what you're doing. So you will be able to say, I'll come and take photos, or I've got this collection and you've got this cause. Let's do it so you get 50% of everything that comes in, including secondary sales, including whatever, and and it could potentially also just work out, because people want to support that stuff, eh? So
no, that's awesome. There's heaps of potential in the space, eh? To be able to, like, it's not all just about cash grab and money. Like, I want to be able to pay the rent, so I want to do this sort of stuff. But it's also, okay, how can we support the kaupapa that we support? How can we support our other mates, artists?
Man. Yeah, I've seen some cool projects of. There was this guy. He does astrophotography, and he got a photo, and he made 100 editions of it, and he sold them for like 0.05 or 0.01, really cheap, like $100. And he had 100 of them though, and the whole kaupapa was, the money I make from this, we're going to spend on up and coming artists who haven't sold any NFTs yet. And so everyone was like, oh, let's, so it was like a community thing where all the successful NFT photographers were buying this guy's work and then he would go, yep, I've got all the money. And then he'd go, what should we buy? And people would put in the comments what they should buy. Then they go, oh, here's the top 5. What should we vote? Let's vote on these ones. And then they'd buy someone's work. And some artist who was like struggling to sell would get like sales out of that. So, yeah, it's there's some interesting things, these are, he'd sold his one-of-ones and made a lot of money. He just wanted a little side project where he could also give people art, but then the utility was, we're going to help someone. It was as simple as that, which is, so it's very creative, the way people are not just trying to make money and market themselves, but how to help people.
Yeah. Wicked, bro. And so for those of our whānau that are still with us, cheers for hanging out. It's been a long one. But like, if someone wanted to, someone hasn't got a wallet, hasn't done anything with NFTs, how would they come and buy one of your NFTs, or come and buy one of my NFTs, or go and buy one of these NFTs, or whatever? How would they start? Where would they go?
The way I would do it now that I know what I'm doing is I would go to a website called Easy Crypto. It's a New Zealand company. You can just put in you can sign up. You need to do like your bank card details.
Good.
You have to do like a driver's license or a passport to verify yourself. Then once you're all set up, you can just, from your debit card, buy the Ethereum, and then once you're set up you've done all the verification on Easy Crypto, then go to the MetaMask website and set up an account there. I forget, there's probably some verifications and photo stuff there as well. And then you add the MetaMask extension on the Chrome extension. And then once you've got that set up, you'll get an address. And then you go to the Easy Crypto site, buy your Ethereum. It'll come up with where do you want to send this. You send it to your MetaMask address, and then you pay for it. And then within a few minutes or an hour, the Ethereum will be in your MetaMask wallet. Then you go to OpenSea. You find the collection of the artists and the piece that you want to buy. You go to that piece, you click buy now. It'll open up your, it'll initiate your MetaMask wallet, and you'll sign in, and then you'll click buy, and then you'll click sign, and then then within, you know, I think it, then it'll tell you how much the gas fee will be. No, I can see what the next question is. And then after you pay the gas, and then you buy it, and then it turns up in your MetaMask wallet. And when you're on OpenSea buying it, you could possibly start an account there where you collect all your OpenSea stuff, and then it'll show what's in your wallet through OpenSea. And yeah, the gas is so. With Ethereum, they have people who mine it, which is they find the Ethereum, and it costs money to make transactions like buying NFTs. You have to pay. You have to pay to buy the NFT, to mint it. So you're turning on OpenSea. You're turning you're turning it into the JPEG into a NFT, but also it takes gas to purchase it, and the gas can vary between $50 and $200. That's quite normal. So for New Zealanders, we tend to stay up till midnight or 2 a.m. to get that kind of $50 mark. But sometimes gas is always high, and sometimes gas is a bit lower. Like I remember back in September, I was minting stuff for $25 US on Foundation, which is a bit more expensive. So it was like gas was down to $25, which is kind of unheard of at the moment, but it fluctuates because if America is awake, who are the biggest consumers of Ethereum and NFTs, then there's a lot happening, and so gas is really expensive. If they're asleep, which is why when we stay up till midnight and that, the gas price goes down, and because they're all asleep, so there's not much happening. If there's a massive drop, like Metaverse or Gary V Friends, if there's a big drop happening, gas will just go up to like $500 because all the gas is being used for people minting 10,000 pieces. So, and those usually drop on the hour. So gas is usually always cheaper on the half hours. So, you know, because there's drops happening all day, every day, all around the world. So, and they all drop on the hour. So it's usually on the half hours and late at night where it's best to do gas. But you got to pay it. There's no getting around it. That's for Ethereum. With Solana and Polygon and Tezos, they're different coins on a different blockchain, and they have different platforms. So there's money. There's cheaper ways to do all of this. But I use Ethereum because that's where the people with the most money are. That's where the ballers are, or as we like to call them, the whales. They're the ones who they just don't even blink at 0.5 Ethereum. So the money's in Ethereum, but there is still money to be made on Solana. There's collections. There's 10,000 piece collections on Solana. There's one of one art on Tezos. So you can do it anywhere, but yeah. The gas in Ethereum is a bit of a pain, but I don't mind because that's where you make money. Like as the artist, you're not paying that gas.
Yeah. Another simple way to think about like gas fees is if you've ever caught Uber and at surge times, the surge prices go up. So when there's a whole lot of demand for something, you know, the price goes up. When there's less demand, then the prices go down. And I look at the different blockchains like different highways. So everyone is driving on Ethereum. So Ethereum highway is this big 6-lane highway, and all the cars are going. You know, Solana is growing, or you know, like Phantom, another one, is growing, but they're smaller kind of back roads. There's less traffic. You can go faster on them, and there's less gas fees, or there's less kind of tolls to go on it. So yeah, those are all things that, you know, you guys can learn in a deep dive, but I think that's a real good summary. So easy crypto for us here in Aotearoa is a real easy, it's retail, so you might be paying a little bit more than you would if you went through the other windy roads to get to, like buying off an exchange or something, but it's really simple. So easycrypto.com, Aotearoa company, and then get the MetaMask, and you put Ethereum from your Easy Crypto into your MetaMask, connect your MetaMask to OpenSea, and that's where the
and buy our work,
our collections on there.
No, none of that other stuff. None of that other stuff. Buy our work.
Well, have a look for Aotearoa artists. If there are New Zealand artists out there, you know, like we are a small country, but we can get up there. So yeah, it's awesome if we can support each other. Can we use Easy Crypto in Australia? I'm not sure. You might have to check on easycrypto.com.
I'm not sure. But there will be one in Australia. There's Binance, Kraken, and Crypto.com and Coinbase. You can buy Ethereum on Coinbase and then send it to your wallet, and Binance and Kraken and all that. But I find it's cheaper in New Zealand using Easy Crypto because that is retail. But when I've bought on Binance, it costs you heaps to send your Ethereum to. Like there's a gas fee to send it to MetaMask. So yeah, there'll be something somewhere in Australia where it's cheaper that you could possibly do it on. But yeah, but have a look on the Easy Crypto website. You probably can. I don't know.
And I just want to pull up what Blockchain Māori was saying before. If you look on at Hey Crypto, Hay Crypto, one of our other Aotearoa mates, they've got the best gas times in one of their posts. So you can have a look, different days of the week, different times. There's a really good post. There's a bunch of other sites and stuff you can look at to find when's the lowest gas fees. But that's kind of like a little bit deeper dive. So I was thinking it'd be good to get the kind of the general idea of it, so that people can start playing the game. Like we said, it's not financial advice. Do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. But like the bro said, it's not all about making money. You might want to get, like I bought one of Richie's pieces because I love the photo. It's gonna be a bonus when he blows up, and then it's worth 50 Ethereum. But right now, I just bought it because I like the photo, and I've put it up for 50 Ethereum because I don't want it. It's something like, what, 500?
Yeah, bro, it's up there, all right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so if someone wants to buy it at that price, I might part with it. But, yeah. But it's those things, and it's also how we express ourselves in the metaverse. And those are conversations that I want to get into a little bit more later date. And yeah, keen as to hear you guys whakaro about this yarn. Yeah, we're just thinking maybe we'll have a bit of a series, talk to our different mates within the space, because you know, I really want Māori to get in and succeed in the space. Bro. You know, people around the world doing it late to the game, and honestly, the biggest gains are for early adopters. So if we can get our whānau in on it early, then we can make the biggest gains. And I really want to support my mates, Māori artists who are cranking to be able to kind of utilize this. This is just another marketplace. And it is, you know, one for the future, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of what's next, and it's almost like Yeah,
What's now,
and what's next? You know, me and you, we're early. We're early. It's still early if people turn up in the next like year. So if I encourage anyone, if you make anything that is a digital piece of art, so music, MP3s, video, MP4s, photography, JPEGs, GIFs, anything kind of like digital. So digital art on like Illustrator or any kind of animated 3D art, all of that stuff. There's money to be made and places to be respected, because it's quite interesting. I've made like way better money in NFTs than I have anywhere else, and the money is one thing, but the fact that people are paying that amount of money is so healthy for my enthusiasm towards my own art, that it could actually get me somewhere, and the appreciation and gratitude I have towards the people who are willing to pay that amount of money for my work is like it's really 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 it's a really good feeling, and it's probably, and it's, you know, especially like to me, I'm not a musician, but I would encourage a lot of musicians to get into the NFT space, because that's one industry where, you know, musicians get something like 10% of whatever record sales they get, and there's not a lot of people in this NFT space. So if you're a musician and you get in early, I think there's some potential there to make a good amount of money, like something that's a bit more respectable to the amount of effort you put into your work, rather than 10%. And the record label's just like a marketing, you know, it's just like something you can say that you're associated with. And they don't really need to do much anymore, because you can market yourself on social media. So I think, but any kind of artist, I think, that should get in there, get your head around it, jump in. It could be totally worth it. But it's not something where you could expect overnight success. It's definitely something that you can't just kind of, you know, you gotta dive deep. And you know, that's something I respect about you, bro, is that, you know, you did so much more research. Like, I remember when we had our meeting, and then you within like a couple of days you had your hardware wallet, and I was just like, this guy, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, yo, he's gonna have stuff out there soon, because, you know, you're committing, and you're not scared to get in there and do it. And you know, you weren't like, you know, you didn't approach it like, I can't do this. You were like, yeah, okay, just get in there. I mean, there is a bit of a learning curve with the technology, and like, I still don't even really know like exactly what an NFT is, but it's awesome. And, you know, I feel validated in my work, because people are paying good money for it, and I'm getting money for it. So it's like, you know, it's good. I love it.
Pretty massive. Got a question from the Jedi, Roy Toya. He's saying novice question, but it's not. Kara, as a sculptural artist, is one of my favorite carvers. Can my images enter the NFT world? Yes. So one thing again, go back to Gary V, and he's the tōrunga to listen to in this space. But he was talking about, you know, someone who makes jewelry can take a photo of the jewelry piece and sell the NFT of that jewelry piece. And the utility of that NFT means you get the actual jewelry piece. So you could take a photo of your sculpture, of your carving, and you could sell that, and the person that owns the carving, and it's kind of like the certificate of authenticity. So yeah, you could totally do that. And I actually wonder about, so if you've got the carving, you've carved the carving, and you've sold the NFT separately, and you didn't put the utility being that you own own the carving. So say if you kept the carving or if I had the carving, but you can sell the NFT to someone else. Someone else has the image of your sculpture, of your art piece, and that could probably sell independently. How does that sound to you, bro?
I think you'd be quite transparent and just be very like, you set the rules. Like, this is the Wild West, and you just say like, okay, I've got the carving. Here's a photo of it. I'm going to sell that. Then you can sell it. Then you can sell it, but I keep it. Or I've got the carving. I'm going to sell you the photo, and then if you buy it, the utility is I send it to you. But then if you sell the NFT, you have to send it to the next person. And when you create the NFT, you write a description. Like, you write all the metadata, and so you stipulate the rules. And so if the third party comes along and they're like, they see that you bought this NFT and they read the description, they say, okay, I'm going to buy this NFT off you because then you have to send me the carving. And so it's a way of on-selling the carving. So if it was a pounamu or whatever, and someone was like, it's one of those things that you don't really on-sell, but it's because it gets blessed. I mean, maybe the part of it is that I create it. I create the photo, I sell it to you, I bless it, I send it to you, you on-sell it, but you bless it before you on-sell it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, because like, I think it depends what you're selling and what the kaupapa is and the tikanga, but I'm not too versed on that. And I think there is a real, like, there's a space there to be really creative about how you can do those things. And it's so early that those rules aren't set yet. So you can be like, because when you do set up the NFT, you write the rules in the description, because once it's sold, no one can go in and change any of that metadata. No one can change the rules. It's set there. So when you know that when you sell it, you have to give up the carving. And I know when I buy it that you have to send the carving. And what everything, and then it's like a chain letter. I know that if I buy it and then I send it, but if I don't bless it before I send it, then I'm sending tapu to that person. So I might say, well, before you send it, I want to know that you've blessed it. And then I might also bless it when it gets here just to be safe. So you might have to, so it's kind of like, and it's crazy, but it's almost like, could you imagine the marketing around that? And some people from like America who are like, wow, because one thing I've noticed about this NFT world is that people love New Zealand and people love our accents and people love everything about our country. So there's definitely some cool opportunities there, and which leads me on to something we haven't talked about, and that is the marketing. And so should we have a little talk about marketing at all? Okay, so for me, I find that the number one place to market your NFTs as a one-of-one artist, like a photographer, a musician, or, if you're not talking big PFP projects, but even then, I think it's on Twitter. And I think the place to really, really get a connection is in Twitter Spaces. So Twitter has this thing where you can jump in these rooms and you can have vocal conversations, voice conversations with people, and when they hear our accents, they're like, oh my God, what is that? And they love it. And it's like, it's such an advantage that I didn't think about going into that space. But after a while, after getting so many compliments about our accent, people buying off me, and just like, because of their fascination with New Zealand, I was like, oh, okay. So Twitter,
and that's the thing. If you're in a space, say you're in a Twitter space with some of the Bored Apes, or if you're in a Twitter space with some of the crypto punks, and then they have that sort of connection, that's that point of difference with marketing. You want your point of difference. What's unique about you? And so that's a way that we as Māori here in Aotearoa can crack those big spaces. if we end up in one of those, that's the little thing that makes them notice us. Man, that could be your open the door.
Yeah, totally. And I found that on a huge level with astrophotography, because there's there's a bunch of us astrophotographers in that world. And I would jump into spaces and it would be like a bunch of astrophotographers and a collector at the top, and we'd all jump up and we'd all start talking, and they'll be like, oh yeah, here's the Milky Way, oh yeah, here's the Milky Way, oh there's Orion and there's thing, and I'd get in going, oh yeah, we don't call Orion, we call it Totoro, and it's the back of this waka, and Matariki's the front, that's Pleiades, and that's, that's in our culture, it rises from the east in late May, early June, and that's how we celebrate New Year's. And everyone was just like, what the heck are you? That is the most awesome, because they, people, there's astrophotographers from all around the world, but they were all talking about it in the terms of Greek or Roman mythology, and I came in with like this is what we do, and they're like, oh snap. And that's the same with some of our native plants. Like there's plants that we have here that are overseas that they just call like so toi, they just, in some countries it's called seagrass or something like that, and it's this real boring name, and then I put up a photo and said between the toys and the Milky Way was in, and then toys on the side, and they were like, what do you mean? And I go, oh, that's what we call it. And they're like, oh that's just called seagrass here or something like that. And I was like, oh, that sounds boring. And they love it, and they just like, it's
it's the kurahuna kei roto i o tātou tikanga. So the photos that I put up, the first photos that I put up are all kapunga, like punga, like the fern fronds and stuff like that.
Yep.
There's ferns all over the world, not exactly the same as ferns all over the place, but in the description and in the kōrero, I'm talking about, well, for us, that koru, that pito, represents growth, development, represents learning, represents whatever, and that's what makes this different from anyone else's photo of a punga. Those sorts of things. So it's the story that goes behind it. Those are all really important things in terms of marketing, or sharing a story, making your thing different to everyone else's. Because in a world that is saturated, and we're early, we're still really, really, really early in the space. It is going to get more and more saturated, like the profile picture space. These are the things that can set us apart. And, like so many times growing up, I've heard, people say, oh, what do you want to speak Māori for? It's not going to get you anywhere. What do you want to be Māori for? There's not going to get you anywhere. Like, actually, ko tō tātou Māoritanga e tino. It's our reo that sets us apart. It's our that sets us apart. It's the way that we look at our world. That sets us apart. It's the way that we interact with our world that sets us apart. So that's those are some really big things that can actually make a big difference. Because if you're in a marketplace and 99 things look the same, and then that one is just a little bit special, that's where you're gonna go and have a look. I see your mates, your Woodies NFT.
Oh, mates, what? Yeah, what's up to the Woodies family?
Yeah.
The social media person, Richard from the Woodies NFT collection, he lived in New Zealand for a while, and he's actually got a collection on Foundation of like some of our mountains here in New Zealand and stuff. He's actually a really talented photographer. The Woodies community and team are all really, really talented artists, and particularly the community, they have like these art competitions and photo competitions, and it's just mind-blowing. That's part of the reason why I'm really, really, really into that space, is because they're just, So, big shout-outs to those guys.
They've also got a taiao aspect to their kaupapa as well, eh? And that's something that Shane Māori was saying before. When we were talking about we can give back to communities or to different kaupapa. Tell us about these guys.
Yeah, so the Woodies NFT, one of their roadmap like milestones was, once they got to a certain percentage of sales, they would set aside some funds to plant 1 million trees. So, most of these NFT projects that come out, they have like, you can win a Tesla, or you can win 5 Ethereum, and it's all like, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? But this milestone that they had was about the planet, and it was like, first of all, I loved the artwork, and then I was like, I love that part of the roadmap, and then part of their whole ethics in general is they're really pushing for people to get outside. So they had like you know how you have Pokemon Go, and people were going out, and they had this woodies, and you had to find these big W's, and so everyone was going out into their neighborhood and collecting these big W's, and if you got a certain amount, you could win stuff, and you could win stuff just by being a part of that. Also, right now, and this might be something you want to get into, is you can win one of their PFP, and anyone listening right now, if you are a photographer or you just got a phone and want to take photos, you can enter the Woody's NFT photo competition. So they've got like, join their Discord and go check out the competition, but you can go, and they're encouraging people to get outside into the environment instead of just sitting inside on their computer all day, which for something like an NFT is huge, because a lot of these NFT projects want you to sit in on the Discord all day long, just trying to get whitelisted or whatever, or just trying to be part of the community and be on Twitter and be active. And Woodies are really pushing get outside, you know, let's and things like meetups. So over in California and Canada and Europe, they're going to have Woodies meetups where people just meet up like at a campground and then go and take photos or hang out or go for walks or go hiking and stuff like that. So yeah, when they first dropped, part of their roadmap milestones was for the environment, and they still push that vibe, and they're really family oriented. The artwork is cute, and you see a lot of the community buying them for their kids. And also another thing was quite cool is, sorry?
That's an investment. So like, you know, there's some of these ones, hey, crypto and stuff in Aotearoa. We're talking about, you know, getting crypto for your kids. If you get, I know you gave your son, eh?
Yeah.
So it was your son's birthday, and for birthday present, you gave him an NFT. And so you know NFT space, and he knows the NFT space now, but you knowing the NFT space bought him one that you know, or you've got a pretty good bet on that it's going to do really well. So you could have given him a $300 birthday present, but in 2 years that birthday present could be a $10,000-$20,000 birthday present.
Exactly. And that's so it's that thing as well. Also with Woodies, I like that the profile pics aren't just boy girl, they're very gender fluid. Like there's this whole kind of like, is that a boy or a girl, or you know, and so it's really it ticks a lot of boxes as far as like where I kind of sit. Like I just kind of like and it doesn't look like a CryptoPunk. It doesn't look like a Bored Ape. It's not a derivative. It's not something, they're not trying to say they're insert animal name, boar, cat, insert verb, lazy, bored, you know, and then yacht club, or like okay, so angry boar bicycle club, or you know, something like that. They're totally different. So yeah, a lot of boxes ticked, which is why you always see me rocking my Woody's NFT as my profile pic on most of my accounts. Sometimes I switch back to my real self, but quite often it's a Woody's NFT. Big fan, big fan.
Yeah, cool. And so there's so much more that we can talk about, but I think we've been here for a little while. Me kawana kia koutou i ngā kaihakarongo. Everyone that's joined in the conversation, chucked us questions. Just been part of it. This is the first. We'll have more yarns with more of our mates about this kaupapa, just trying to educate everyone in the space, and you know, so we can all kind of rise together. That's the aim. Any last words?
Yeah. Do your own research. None of this is financial advice, and only invest money that you are prepared to lose.
Anything else other
just
than that?
thank you, bro. Thank you for initiating this kōrero, and for being a collector of mine. It means a lot to me. and for being another leader in this space. It's been kind of lonely, you know, and I commend you on your work so far. I'm a big fan of your photography. I can't wait to buy some of your work when I get some more Ethereum. Everyone else that's been, you know, watching, get involved. Don't be scared. Do your research. We say that in such a, like, oh, do your research, like it's almost a throwaway thing, but it's not just something you can do quickly. Always be learning. Always be just kind of like figuring out stuff. And, you know, it goes for everything, but particularly in investing and in this crypto space and in this NFT space. It's an exciting new world, and I can only see a lot of gains and to be had in it. So yeah, just get in there, people.
Awesome, and go and follow Richie. So if you look in the posts, in my last couple of posts, I've got all of his details. So if you go onto his Instagram, he's got links in his bio to all of his different platforms. I've got links in my bio to my OpenSea and Foundation and stuff. I haven't quite started into Foundation, but yeah, dipping our feet. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, mihana kia tātou, ka hiki ake ngā kōrero ki te tākuhu o te whare, kia wātea tātou katoa, pōmari e te whānau.
Peace.
See you later. Sure.